Hi friends, welcome to the space. Today I want to hop on here and share with you my personal posture transformation and the number one things I've learned along the way, and a few exercises that will help you get started in your posture transformation journey. If you're new around here, I am Hedi Shah. I'm a movement and mindfulness teacher, and I've supported over hundreds of people over the years to build strengths that they never thought possible through movement, through teaching people how to breathe better, how to improve their posture, and how to be more mindful of how they go through their day-to-day life. Very early on in my career, as I started becoming a coach, I realized that all the things that I learned in personal training school, i.e. strength training, bodybuilding style training, wasn't really enough. The majority of my clients had issues more than only strength training could resolve them, including posture. Posture was massive. I started educating myself on posture improvement modalities, and I gained so much from understanding the biomechanics of everything. But things start shifting when I had my concussion in 2018, because all the things that I learned, all the things that I practiced wasn't working on me anymore. I started noticing that my posture was becoming worse and worse, and no matter how much I tried to stay on top of my own training, my own mobility routine, my own practices, as if my posture wasn't really making any progress forward and I was going backwards pretty much. And post-concussion, I had a lot of head pressure, a lot of neck pressure, a lot of shoulder stuff going on. Everything was happening on the right side of my body. And it was really taxing on my nervous system. I was anxious consistently, and I have done massive amount of physios, chiros, a lot of nervous system oriented work that any of you, if you want me to go deep on what helped and what didn't, I can definitely record another video on that. But nothing was working. Nothing really was resolving the matter. Like, all of them would give me a nice quick fix of a few days of feeling better, but then I would start again. And I couldn't do the things that I loved. Like, I loved movement, I loved doing things on my arms, but then everything would trigger my neck and the head tension consistently. And that was really hard emotionally, not doing and not being able to do things that I truly enjoyed consistently without experiencing setbacks. I was committed to find a solution, but don't get me wrong, along the way so many times I felt like I feel like there's no answer, and I gotta live with all these symptoms for the rest of my life. And so many people will tell you that, oh, okay, don't do it. I get it. Like, sometimes in order for you to recover, you gotta be able to slow down, but you also need tools and modalities to be able to support you to fully move on. And that was when I found a modality called PRI, or postural restoration. Completely changed the game for me. And I worked with a few amazing coaches and practitioners to go even deeper on this matter. And the most important lesson I've learned in this has been our body, whether or not you're right-handed or left-handed, we're more right dominant than we ever can imagine. You may say, yeah, it makes sense. Yes, it makes sense, because we've got the heart on the left, and that impacts the way we breathe, and that impacts the way our overall posture shapes itself around our breathing. And that impacts our overall posture. And when an accident or an injury and a trauma happens, we tend to lean on the side that we feel stronger even more. We depend on it even more. That's why I was experiencing everything on the right, and I was overly sensitive on the right. And that blew my mind. just realizing that we are asymmetrical beings, something that I wish, like I learned back in personal training school, and we constantly thrive for balance, but we all notice that there's a significant difference between the right and the left side of the body, even when you are doing any strength training per se. If you're lunging, for example, you experience your body completely differently on the left than the right. And we're not intending to go for like equal or full balance on both sides, but our goal is to be able to bring the center of your mass or the center of your body more to the center than what you currently is at, or where I was at. That was completely shifted to the right work. I started doing all the breathing practices. I've started doing a lot of pelvis practices to be able to incorporate what I learned in the breathing into my pelvis, and being able to create more stability throughout my whole posture. And gradually I started beginning to notice that my feet are gripping the ground differently. I felt a lot more grounded on my feet. I enjoyed my walk a lot more. I enjoyed my training a lot more. And the most transformative thing that happened is post-concussion. I started feeling that one side of my teeth was getting shorter than the other, and I had no solution. I went to the dentist. They said, oh, just wear a mouth guard, it's going to resolve it. But it didn't resolve it for me, and that's why I just quit. Like, I felt like it wasn't working. But now I know it could have worked if I was guided a lot better and a lot more, like I was informed better, because sometimes in certain periods you need that support to be able to allow your mouth and your jaw fully close in a safe way without creating that tension. But I didn't know better at the time. And then as I continued doing these practices and started wearing mouth guard, again, I'm not prescribing this to anybody. You got to get yourself, assessed and get support from the right people. I started noticing my jaw changing, and my jaw is changing. I still notice my facial expression is completely changing day by day as I continue doing this work. And I began feeling that as I was speaking, I no longer felt like my jaw was shifting completely into the opposite direction. And no wonder I felt so much more at ease in my body, a lot more calm, and all the anxieties and all the panic attacks that I experienced post-concussion, doing all the nervous system work, all the neuro rehab work, all the anxiety attacks were gone, and I just couldn't believe it. The quality of my sleep has increased significantly, and life began to feel more at ease. Before, I felt like every task that I was doing throughout my day felt difficult, felt like extra effort. And I'm so grateful for all the things that I've learned along the journey, and being where I am, and now knowing what I know in terms of how our body is asymmetrical and how we can improve our breathing, our pelvis stability, our whole overall posture, and knowing what I know about joint health. And combining all of these, I felt the best I've ever felt in my body. Plus, I get to coach clients a lot deeper than I ever did in the past. And that makes me really, really happy. This made the whole journey worthwhile. And all that I said, I hope you gained something new out of this. And here it's going to be the place that I'm going to start introducing you to a few breathing modalities that helps you to start your postural transformation journey. And I hope you truly, truly enjoy that. Asymmetrical breathing. The point of this breathing is for us to be able to breathe to the back of our heart that we are naturally unable to, and really bringing more of a balance to our body on the breathing level that would impact your overall posture. On the arm positioning, if you've got this space in the shoulder, you're going to go into an L shape, making sure the shoulder is relaxed, everything is relaxed. And if you don't have the shoulder range, then you're going to have the arm wide open on the side. On the left, you're going to reach as high up as possible, creating that space in the back of your shoulder blade thinking of your shoulder blade is moving away from the spine. But we don't want to be in crunched position. We want to create that reach and have that chest open. If you've got tension in the neck, have a towel or a blanket rolled and put it gently underneath your neck so you feel completely grounded on the back of your head. So we're starting with soft inhale, allowing the breath to really expand your ribs rather than your belly. We want to focus on learning how to breathe into our diaphragm instead of breathing into our belly as much as possible. Full exhale out. Imagine that you have a straw attached to your lips and you're blowing into the ceiling. And feeling that rib coming down and in, closing that middle line, feeling that engagement in the core. So now keep going. Soft inhale. For hook line exercises, you want to grab a thick notebook or a book that you're able to fit both of your feet on it. So ideally, we don't want them to be as thick of a block. We want them to be almost half a block size. Lie down your back, fit your feet on your surface. Arms on the right, you've got it in L shape if your shoulder allows. Otherwise, you're going to go open towards the ceiling. We're going to create that reach, thinking of our shoulder blade on the left is moving away from the spine as far as possible. We are not in any form of crunching here, keeping that chest open, expressed towards the ceiling. Start with a couple of breaths first. And as you're going through our normal breathing of soft inhale, very long exhale, ideally into 8 seconds, begin feeling your feet on the ground. And begin activating the suction cup beneath your feet and beginning to pull your heels towards your butt. You're not obviously moving the feet. The feet are stationary, but you're creating that force towards your butt and you're beginning to activate the hamstring there. And then as you continue pulling, feeling your hamstring really getting strong, and at the same time you begin having your pelvis or your butt tucked under you and thinking that your tailbone is lengthening towards your heels, and you continue maintaining that reach. So now we're going to keep holding in that position and keep going for our inhale and exhale. Soft inhale, full exhale out. One piece of very important advice: imagine you're holding an imaginary foam roll or an actual foam roll and you're holding it loosely between your legs. We don't want to have our knees going out, so we want to have those inner thighs as part of this movement, supporting us and helping us integrate everything together. So keep going with soft inhale, full exhale out. Keep pulling those heels towards yourself. Keep maintaining that squeeze on that real or imaginary foam roll. Have that butt tucked under you. Getting into a 90-90 position, having a foam roll between your legs if you've got a foam roll available. Otherwise, just pretend that you're holding an imaginary foam roll between your legs. We're beginning to activate the suction cup beneath our feet and beginning to pull down really strongly. We're feeling the hamstring closer to the knee, tucking that butt under you, feeling the lower part of your hamstring closer to your butt. You might begin shaking. That's great. That's what we want. We want everything to be working in our hamstring. 7, 8 out of 10 ideally. And then we're creating that reach, soft inhale, full exhale out. We start with a few soft inhale and exhale, so we can really not only maintaining that force, but also finding that engagement and integration of our core here. Soft inhale into your upper back, full exhale out. Remember, at this point you should know that we're always aiming for 8 seconds long exhale with as much grace and ease back into our inhale, and we're keeping our inhale really, really soft. When you already have done a few inhale and exhale, on the next inhale, we're going to lift one foot off the wall as we continue pulling down on the other side, and we don't let anything change. We're really teaching our core and our pelvis to stabilize everything for us as we're here for at least one full exhale. If you can maintain more, then go for it. Gently drop. We're going to go to the other side. Remember, nothing moves. If you feel like you cannot maintain that stability of the pelvis, then you might need to go back to the wall breathing exercise, the initial part of this exercise, so you can really master the art of your breathing as well as activating your hamstring here. So keep going. We get at least one long exhale if you can. Be here for 2, 3, 5, 10 reps of breathing. That's great. So keep going. Remember, we don't want to lose anything. We want everything to feel integrated here. You might feel a significant difference on what you experience on the left to the right, and that's completely okay. Ideally, we want to bring them closer together. On the exhale, you really want to keep your exhale as full as possible, as forceful as possible. And continue. Please come back to this video often, do the practices frequently. And if you need extra support, and if you want to dig even deeper, and if you want to take control of what you're experiencing and experience your strengths from a different lens, and really building that foundation and build the solid strength that you truly desire, I might be the person for you. And I will share all the links down in the description box below. You can definitely get in touch, and I am looking forward to be able to support you throughout these videos, as well as working with you personally. Take care.